Should you buy Digibyte in 2022? Well, today I'm going to help you answer that question. Welcome back to another episode of your DigiHustle News. As always, I'm Wade Teamer. 2021 was a banner year for one of the longest standing blockchains in this space. Not only did they set a brand new all-time high, but a number of major fundamental developments were made that laid the foundation for adoption on a massive scale. For context, we need to break down a little bit of history of the Digibyte blockchain. Digibyte was developed in 2013 by Jared Tate. It wasn't released, however, until 2014 as an open source blockchain based on the Bitcoin protocol. However, Digibyte has improved on the protocol by increasing confirmation speeds and developing more efficient protocol parameters that enhance the security of Digibyte's network. The first block on the Digibyte blockchain also came with a profound message of its own that emphasized the need for higher security standards in the digital realm. The Digibyte blockchain is what is known as proof of work, meaning in order to validate blocks, they need to be mined, much similar to Bitcoin. Now, what gives Digibyte the advantage over Bitcoin when it comes to mining is the use of 5 hashing algorithms instead of the one used by Bitcoin. Not only does this improve security, but it enhances speed and capability for the Digibyte blockchain, which can add new blocks every 15 seconds. Another point I would like to mention is that Digibyte can be considered an inflationary asset, meaning over time mining rewards will decrease, but this will also induce scarcity. Digibyte's total supply is capped at 21 billion. At the time you're seeing this, 15.2 billion of that are in circulation. This means that if this pace continues, the last Digibyte ever will be mined before the end of this decade. So now that we know a bit more about the infrastructure, let's talk about the 3 layers to the Digibyte blockchain and how they work together as a whole. Layer 1 is the asset layer, commonly known as DigiAssets. This is where you can build decentralized applications and smart contracts. This may remind you of other more popular blockchains like Ethereum or Polkadot. This means that yes, you can too mint NFTs on Digibyte. Way faster and way cheaper. Now, layer 2 is the administration layer. This is in essence where transaction histories are stored or their public ledger. This is also where those 5 mining algorithms come into play. All of this together allows for Digibyte to store vastly more information per block. Now, layer 3 is communication. The base layer where all the nodes on the Digibyte blockchain reside, communicating with one another and strengthening the network. The base layer is also key to interoperability. With Digibyte already being open source, anyone can come and integrate with the chain. We know that interoperability amongst blockchains is growing in importance. This is largely due to the emergence of Web3. One of the most crucial elements to this Web3 revolution is going to be the digitization of our identities. By the end of this decade, the concept of our most sensitive information being recorded on paper rectangles, that'll be a distant memory. Knowing this, one of the most powerful applications already built on the Digibyte blockchain is DigiID. Typically, when you sign into any account or service nowadays, you may need to enter an email address or phone number along with a random password. Well, imagine if that entire process was replaced by scanning a QR code. This is what DigiID is. This technology is also open source and can easily integrate into existing applications. This brings us to the best part of the episode. It all started back in January. Digibyte gains exposure to the UAE by joining the ZPay POS system, allowing customers in the United Arab Emirates to pay for goods and services using Digibyte. Then came Atom ID, who would use the DigiID technology to create a product for enterprise solutions, a product that would lead to a pretty massive partnership later in the year. We'll get to that in a second. A few weeks later though, a global report would rank Digibyte number 2 after Ethereum in the field of smart contract capability. This was followed by deals and partnerships with Freefold, LifeHash, Knit Finance, and Block Bank. But that's not all. At the same time, Digibyte was getting listed on exchanges left and right. LCX, a centralized exchange with major institutional clientele. Then it was Cryptocom, who recently just allowed for withdrawals and deposits to and from the Digibyte network. That's important. By the end of the year, they landed on the Binance-supported staking platform, Vault. Now, although staking isn't available just yet, the type of platform that Vault is, guys, I've mentioned this before, it may come sooner than we think. Now, you would think that would be the end of it, right? Wrong. During the summer, word began to spread about a potential rebranding of the company image. A mysterious new logo began to appear all across social media as being the new Digibyte logo. Now, this would turn out to be far from the truth. What we thought was a rebrand was actually a strategic introduction into something nobody saw coming.
Oh my God! Oh, they did it! They went there, lady. Oh, look at this! That was so animated. Oh my God! Oh man! Oh man! Oh, Jaden, it's the metaverse. Metaverse.
In late 2021, Digicorp Labs hit the scene. The timing of this could not have been more perfect, as only weeks prior, Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook was rebranding to Meta. Not only did this turn the entire crypto market upside down for weeks, but it created an entirely new market sector overnight. One that Digibyte was one of the first to offer enterprise solutions for this metaverse. And they did. First, by acquiring AtomID technology as well as Threefold. Then, they landed a huge deal with Lulu International, which ties back to the already established relationship in the United Arab Emirates. This deal will see Digibyte technology used in the largest hybrid commerce environment on Earth, the Lulu hypermarket. To end the year, Digibyte made headlines once again. This time, the world discovered that an alliance had been formed in Wyoming to promote the growth and adoption of the Digibyte blockchain. This alliance is led by a number of former government officials from the state and beyond. Now, what I think is the best part, though, is that last year, we also learned that Wyoming is very crypto friendly, but only a small number of blockchains have established relationships in the state. Now, if you want to know more about that relationship, I'll place that video for you right here. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe and share this information with other potential Digibyte holders. And remember, if the money is digital, so is the hustle. I'll see y'all in the next one.